Hello.
Hello. Well, that worked out pretty easily, didn't it? I think it gets so much easier to do this over time as well, because the more times that you stuff up, the more times you learn how to do it properly. Because Christine and I just basically tested this out before, and if any of you have done a Facebook Live before and had major stuff ups every time that you've done it, please comment below and put a thumbs up. Because yeah, I could see Tony there the first time we did it as well. We stuffed up a bit, but I think the technology is definitely getting a lot easier, and it's working better. But awesome, so super stoked that a lot of people are getting on this call here. And Christine, welcome to your first Facebook Live, sharing the screen with someone else.
Oh, thank you, Brad. Thanks for helping me out here, having me on. It's great. Two professionals. What can go wrong?
That's right, exactly. Well, look, we've got a few people that are all tuning in here right now, and we'll. I think one of the most important things that I've learned about doing Facebook Lives is that it's important just to get straight into it, and people can they can come back and look at things in the future as well if they've missed out on the first initial parts of it. But yeah, look, really excited that some of you guys are wanting to join us tonight, because yeah, Christine and I are both health professionals. We've been in the game for a while, and we thought we'd get on and talk about keto everything, because it's just everywhere now, isn't it? It's pretty nuts. Hey, Wei Shen, how you doing? Hey, Rach Run Wild. And it's just that yeah, we wanted to have a bit of a chat about it, because we both have, I guess, different approaches to ourselves personally with how we eat and what we do with the keto diet. But I thought it'd be great to get someone like Christine on here as well, because she's a naturopath, and it's just good to be able to hear about health things from health people, I guess, as well, isn't it? So I guess some of the questions that we sort of brought up at the beginning that we wanted to sort of bring up and talk about was, the first one is that based on like what I wrote in the description is that I don't want to eat a keto diet. It's not for me, but Christine definitely loves it. So I guess I'll ask Christine then first. So why do you prefer to eat a keto diet? And for those people out there that don't even really know what a keto diet is, can you please explain to the guys what it is?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I'm a naturopath. I've been practicing for about 16 years now, and a ketogenic diet is where you restrict your carbs. So you have a lower carb diet, a nice high quality fat diet, and then moderate proteins. And so what that's about for me, for our health, and for myself. Okay, so I probably started about, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, attempting keto, getting into it, sort of playing with it for my own health. For inflammation within my body, you know, going to the gym and doing things, and I was sore all the time, and I'd be doing body work and things, and so inflammation, and also a family history of diabetes, and that's probably the prevalent thing, is that I have looked into my family history, and there's a lot of diabetes in there. It's very prevalent. So I thought, you know, I don't want to go down that track if I don't have to. And as a naturopath, that was so why I took on being a naturopath. I want to be healthy at any age, and by using good quality food. So I did that, and I thought, well, go the keto diet, go to that keto low carb, and I found it really hard. And then so it levels out my blood sugars, essentially, is what it does. It helps me to blood sugars and insulin. Insulin's a bit of a hormonal boss, and so if you have, when you have your glucose, it converts to sugar, or you eat your carbs and it converts to sugar, glycogen. And so then insulin is a response to that. And so I was having these blood sugar fluctuations, which affect your mood, and it affects your hormones, and it affects inflammation. So it affects a lot of things within your body. It can affect your mood, and it can affect your sleep. So I thought, I'll just go on to that. So I've been experimenting with it, getting, you know, sort of a bit lazy keto, I suppose, getting on there, doing it for a while, dropping off the bandwagon, getting back on. Also for weight loss as well. I develop a healthier relationship with food, and I find a lot of people do need to look for a healthy relationship with food in many ways as well. So, and you look it out there, there's just so much carbs, so much refined carbs. You walk through the supermarket, it's really hard. You know, you got to make sure you go shopping when you're not hungry. So I probably did it for those particular reasons. It helps with my inflammation. It's so much better. I can do so much more without that. I certainly have better mood. And definitely my blood sugars, I'm certainly nowhere near in the parameters of looking like becoming a diabetic. So yeah. What about you, Brad? So I believe you, Brad, don't follow the keto or don't really sort of subscribe to it. So what's happening with that?
So if I was to label myself, I call myself a flexitarian, because I'm not really sort of pro any sort of diet. I guess I'm pro really at least from the education that I've had, at least through holistic health, I'm very pro into the work of several different people. One of them being a guy named Dr. Weston A. Price, and he was a dentist like in the 1930s and 40s that traveled around the world, like to all continents, and basically everywhere that he went, because he was a dentist and he was looking at people's teeth, he basically found that across the world that the more that people moved away from their local fresh organic diet, the more that their bodies fell apart, the more that they had health problems, disease, and a lot of teeth problems. So the thing is that to sort of keep it simple, he went to Alaska and he saw Alaskan Eskimos eating a vastly different diet to Fijians. So people closer to the poles would tend to eat a lot stodgier, fattier sorts of meals in comparison to people closer to the equator that had a lot more fruits, vegetables, lower fat meals and things like that. Maybe coconuts are sort of a different scenario, but at least, for example, the fish in warmer waters have way less fat on them than the ones that live up close to the poles. So I've sort of been a lot more in tune to, I guess, challenging myself with different types of foods and looking into my ancestry. And I just feel as though like the keto diet itself is still just like another one size fits all type sort of approach. And for some people, it just doesn't really work. And for me, I really love a banana and I love an apple and I definitely love a craft beer because a lot of people know that I like my beer. So if I have any one of those things, it kicks me out of ketosis. And yeah, I think it's just a tough thing to get back into. But saying that, I know that there are some people on this call here. If you are a person on this call that does eat a keto diet, please type in the word keto. And if you're someone that has never eaten the keto diet and even know what it is, then give us a thumb down emoji or something like that, because I'd like to even know how many people out there actually are giving or consider themselves to be keto. It's actually really interesting, Christine, because since coming up to the Sunshine Coast and living here now, I've actually seen way more vegans up here than I have in a long, long time. So I was just I thought this would be a good call to get on and do, because there's all these different sorts of names and fads and things that come. I'm sure you've seen a million of them over the last, you're saying 16 years for yourself, as far as different, diets and fads and stuff that come and go. But the keto diet seems to be one that's pretty freaking strong. And it's, I mean, there's no doubt about it. There are some people on this call here that, I mean, they've lost 40 kilos as a result of, there she is. She's just put it up. Lazy Keto Tony. She's lost 40 kilograms, which is pretty insane. And then Jacinta, I know she's lost 15 kilograms, but it's not purely just doing the keto diet though as well.
No.
But what was the so next question we had? I wanted to ask you then is that, so as a naturopath, then how does the keto diet then fit into naturopathy?
Well, it's a case by case. As you said, we're all different. We're all individual. You've got to find something that works for you. However, it's a good starting point for people because, I find. Who are you laughing at?
Sorry, I was just Wei Shen. She's a dentist up here that I've been connecting with, Sunshine Coast, and she said, "I'm a vegan. Don't judge me." All these vegans up here, right? Anyhow,
No, there's no judgment. No. There's no judgment anyway, and you can still follow the keto on vegan too. There's lots of options. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about adapting. And so for my clients, it really was a case by case basis. And it was really, I wouldn't say keto, I'd say to them, hey, look, how about you, get rid of some of the carbs and follow, look at some of your quality fats for especially for their hormone balances as well, blood sugar and immunity. As we're getting older, our immune systems are so important to look after. That's what carries us through, as we get older, our receptors for glucose in our brain is lessened if we have this overabundance of it all. So it's like resting your organs as well. So for hormonal imbalances, people on that borderline for diabetes, it's, you sort of go, okay, go back to the grassroots, as you said, good quality, local, healthy produce, not refined foods. You go to the fruit shops now and things like that to get your quality fruits and vegetables that have got carbs in them anyway, but you're just not introducing massive amounts so that you've got this nice stable level. You know, that's what I say to people is you've got to find something that gives you that nice stability in, you know, all areas. So the other thing is food relationships. It's making that relationship with food. You crave those carbohydrates, and so the more you're off them, the easier it gets to do, and you just feel better. You know, people find that, you know, their dandruff is improved because they're eating more healthy oils, or their joints aren't so sore and things like that. Their skin clears up because haven't got that congestion. Same with a bit of the dairy, you know, is another thing I probably in the keto again. So you're not strictly sticking to keto, going, well, some people dairy isn't good for them. Plus, those who are sensitive to wheat and gluten, it's an easier way to go to that, you know, let's just cut those things out and see how your body starts to feel and adjust to that. And there's so many options now, you know, vegan, you know, almond meal, coconut flour. There's so many options to just bring out those things and, you know, sort of be a lazy keto for a lot of my clients without being strictly keto. And of course, weight loss and food relationship, as I went back to that before, it's about having that relationship to do this lifelong, not just today, not just for 6 months, but for the rest of your life. Sustainable health, I suppose.
Well, that's it. I guess it's sort of the best diet that you can really eat, the healthiest diet, best diet you can eat is the one that you will actually eat and you'll eat long term, you know, rather than always backwards and forwards and, you know, trying the next thing that comes out because it's the latest and greatest. But I guess and also in question with regards to naturopathy, are you finding then at the same time that you're actually, are you still using or prescribing the same amount of supplements to clients as a result of getting them to eat a ketogenic diet?
And that's always a tricky one. Whenever I did do give supplements out, there's never usually more than a couple because I do try. I'm not really big on supplements. I try. Well, it was always about trying to find homeostasis for the body. That's what we're looking for. And so if they were eating quality food, they needed less of it. And if you got more nutrients out of that quality food, you weren't interfering with the absorption of food. So probably multivitamins. I always say there's like this stability of a multivitamin, a fish oil, probiotic, sort of gut health is really important, and things like magnesium. So, you know, they're kind of the base nutrients I go to, and then you go off onto these other tangents depending on what they needed. But, you know, the ultimate thing is you're still looking for longevity out of everything. They leave me, they go off on their own. You want them to be able to sustain that long term. So I myself, I don't take, I only use the best quality. That's all I put into my body is, as a naturopath, we have access to the best quality, and it's not at the Chemist Warehouse, guys. So just telling you.
It's actually
It's really
really
not.
good. Like at the same time, I'm just watching some of the conversations that are going on whilst we're chatting as well. There's some. This is I guess the cool thing about everyone sharing information. There's some conversations going on here about the best places to get food up here on the Sunshine Coast. So, you know, the more that you really can buy stuff locally grown and, you know, grown in the area rather than, you know, acai berries sort of shipped over from Brazil type sort of thing, then, you know, really.
Oh, your local markets.
Local markets, yeah. So if some of you are on here and you're wanting to know more about your local markets, connect with some other people. Like we've got people everywhere. We've got Paul here from Sydney. How you doing, mate? We've got Bona, who is from Jakarta in Indonesia. There's been a few other people. So I think it's just, the more you can connect with your local food, the better. So I guess, you're still using supplements with naturopathy, but I guess you're not hugely into them. You're more about teaching people about how to eat real food,
Yeah, definitely.
real food.
But I believe that you don't believe much in supplements or haven't in the past. Is that right?
Well,
My
I haven't
question
in
to
the
you.
past. Things have definitely changed of late in the last couple of years, and a lot of people who've been friends with me and following me on social networking for ages know that's changed me. But yeah, especially when I started studying holistic health as a Czech practitioner, supplements were definitely not my game. I just basically my whole thing was to educate people about following simple what are called foundation principles of health, which food is certainly one of them. But at the same time, drinking better quality water, getting to bed earlier, moving your body with purpose, thinking positive thoughts, instead of, you know, hanging around and focusing on the things that don't serve you. So a lot of those sorts of things. But essentially for myself, even though there was just a very long period of time though, where even despite every single holistic health protocol and naturopathic protocol that I was trying, especially for me to improve my sleep and problems I was having with parasites, I couldn't do it. And then I actually got introduced to ketones, and that completely freaking changed the game for me. And I think it was by the third day, and it doesn't happen this way with everyone, but at least for me, thank God I didn't lose 40 kilograms like Tony Bishop, who's watching here at the moment. Ketones, or being in ketosis, does very, very different things for different people, thank God, because for me, I've put on 6 kilos of muscle since drinking ketones. Luckily, I don't have to eat the diet because I don't want to eat the diet. I'm happy with a primal paleo-based diet, but at least for myself, yeah, I've had to change my whole view on supplements now because, yeah, I've been sleeping the best that I have in a bloody long time, and parasites have not been an issue for a long time as well. So, you know, like, I love it. I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah. What about yourself? Talk to me then about, like, how do you feel then about ketones, using drinkable ketones? Do you use them on top of you actually eating the diet?
Yeah, and look, you know, I do. I have been taking exogenous ketones to get myself into ketosis, which is having a high level of ketones in my blood, so that when you know, I can't follow the diet all as strictly as I can. You know, it's sometimes hard with family, and if I go out for dinner and things, I want to enjoy myself, and so yeah, I do take those exogenous ketones to be in ketosis, which is having that high level of ketones in my blood. And that helps to keep my blood sugar nice and stable so that my insulin, glucose responses are at a nice wave, not a spike. You know, we don't climb mountains anymore. We want to go, you know, just nice and gentle. And so nice stable blood sugars means nice stable insulin, and that just that's a flow-on effect to all kinds of things: satiety and hunger, fatigue, you know, mood, sleep, energy. And, you know, and I find it took me a while to adapt. It took me a long time to adapt, actually. And I realized what that feels like now when I have glucose, or, you know, go out and have a meal and things like that. I can feel the difference. But the beauty about having the ketones is that I can come home and have some exogenous ketones, and I get back on track. I feel amazing. I start to feel great again, and within hours, not a day or two, you know, overnight even. And so when people come to me and they say, I want to go on the ketones, try these things, I said, don't change your diet. Don't become keto just because you're going to go on these ketones. If you're already keto and you want to try the ketones, great. So I don't advocate diet change. I actually prefer people to actually get onto the ketones, see how they're feeling, get a response, and then if they choose to, go keto, and that's generally for food, relationship, and weight loss. Otherwise, because the ketones, you just have, you know, up to 30% more energy per molecule, because when you have glucose, you're using 30% less oxygen than when you're burning on ketones than when you're doing on glycogen or on glucose. And so you've got that 30% more endurance, more stamina, more energy to do any activity. It's not just about going to the, you know, it's just about getting up and doing your daily thing, having that little bit more stamina, energy. Yeah, so that's
cool,
why I
man.
like
I mean,
them.
who doesn't want that? I mean, that's the thing. So, look, to be honest, that's the thing. I'm, and this is for me as a health pro. Like I'm open and adamant about getting people to find the right lifestyle and diet that works for them, that they consistently do, that makes them feel the way that they all want to feel. And if it's a combination of being a vegan, a carnivore, a supplement taker, a non-supplement taker, whatever, just find the thing that works for you and go from there. But at least I think we can both sort of admit that, you know, whilst I was not much of a supplement, you know, supplements have not been my thing, but now that's drastically changed for me. And I'd probably say you were using quite a lot more supplements and prescribing quite a lot more supplements before, and now that you're drinking ketones, you're probably prescribing less of those ones, would it be fair to say, and using ketones maybe a little bit more as well? Then yeah, it's just sort of like, at the end of the day, we all want to be healthier, happier, have better moods, more energy, all that sort of stuff. So, you know, whilst the keto diet's not for me, and you certainly like it, I think it's just, I'm happy to see people just like I think the whole ketogenic lifestyle and ketogenic diet and revolution that's hit our shores and hit our social networking screens is pretty exciting, because I've seen some massive changes to people in short spaces of time, and it's pretty inspiring to see people like that have had lifelong problems like just completely change from all the benefits that you were mentioning before that happened from a ketogenic diet. So I think it's a pretty exciting time, wouldn't you say?
Yes, and it's great. It's by using this in conjunction with everything else that you were doing in your lifestyle, it makes just bettering everything that was there, you know, getting you that better sleep. So if you have a little bit more, if you have better sleep, you know, so your insulin, because the insulin sort of has a little play with a few of those other hormones, so adrenaline and leptin, so your hunger and your satiety. It also has effect on cortisol, which has an effect on sleep. So if you've got your cortisol levels are out, you're sleeping at the wrong time, you know, you're feeling alert at the wrong time, you're not being able to sleep at the wrong time. So, you know, just having all of those level out, and naturally our body going back to homeostasis. That's what our body does. It wants to go back. It looks for that, searches for that all the time, and our body can heal itself, has amazing healing properties. And that's all we are, facilitators of that in particular. It's just getting people back to happy and enjoying their life and a long life, you know, healthy long life, and putting off, I suppose, for me, diabetes, you know, in the family. Not, you know, my goal is like, I'm not going to become a diabetic, you know, and if I can do whatever it is I need to do and, you know, not be on medication, it's fantastic. So,
That's
yeah,
great. Well, I think for
yeah.
anyone that's watching this, for any of you that are on here that are interested in knowing more about the ketogenic diet or exogenous ketones, so if those of you didn't know that big word that was thrown out there, exogenous, it just means made outside of the body. So getting ketones that you can drink as opposed to your liver making them. If you want to know more, please say I want to know more, like in the comments below, and then we'll be able to send you some info, like some links on what the keto diet's all about. Or if you want to know about exogenous ketones, both Christine and I love the stuff. We drink it every day, and we can easily give you more information about that too. So I think we'll call it a day there. Then now we've actually got to get on another call as well. But thank you everyone for jumping on the call, and so many people contributing and commenting. There are other stories and everything going. Like I see you will pop up. It was pretty cool actually. So, but and also thank you for your time as well, getting on as well, Christine. It was awesome to have a chat with you about this, and you did bloody well. You're a professional at doing all this sort of stuff. When's the next one?
Thank you for having me on, Brad. It was great talking to another professional, and it made it so much easier, took away all the stress. So thank you. We'll have to do more of this.
Awesome, mate. All right. All
Have
good.
a great
Thanks,
night.
guys. Yeah, have a great night too. See you all later. Bye.